1911, the U.S. government took the most powerful corporation on planet Earth and ripped it into 34 pieces. They thought they were punishing John D. Rockefeller. They thought they were destroying a monopoly, but instead, they made Rockefeller richer than he had ever been in his entire life. And they accidentally created six of the most valuable companies in the world. The government tried to kill Standard Oil, but Standard Oil multiplied. This is the greatest backfire in regulatory history. Hello, I'm Todd Hagopian, the original Stagnation Assassin. Today we're opening the vault on the Standard Oil antitrust breakup of 1911. The moment the Supreme Court shattered a monopoly and inadvertently unlocked more shareholder value than any merger in history ever created. Was this a strategic slaughter or a stagnation suicide? The answer is going to make your head spin. Pre-breakup Standard Oil gets a stagnation score of 5 out of 10. Now hold on. I know what you're thinking. How can a company that controlled 91% of oil refining be stagnant? Well, here's how. Monopolies actually breed mediocrity. When you have no competition, you have no urgency. Standard Oil by 1911 was a bureaucratic behemoth. Layers of management, redundant operations, cross-subsidized divisions, where profitable units were actually propping up the dead weight. The corporate cancer wasn't in the market position, it was in the organizational architecture. They were fat, slow, and complacent. The monster had gotten too big to move. Now, the breakup itself wasn't a strategic decision by Standard Oil. It was imposed by the Supreme Court. But the result is what demands forensic analysis, because it accidentally became the most effective application of the 80-20 matrix of profitability in American history. Here's what happened. When the government split Standard Oil into 34 separate entities, it forced each company to stand on its own. No more cross-subsidization, no more hiding poor performance inside a conglomerate. Each piece had to be honest, objective, and transparent about its own profitability. The hot system enforced by legal mandate. The result, the vital few surged. Companies like Standard Oil of New Jersey, which became Exxon, were freed from dragging along underperforming divisions. Standard Oil of New York, which became Mobil. Standard Oil of California, which became Chevron. These companies, liberated from the conglomerate curse, could allocate capital to their highest ROI opportunities without subsidizing the vampire many. And here's the punchline that Rockefeller himself must have laughed about. He owned stock in every single one of these 34 companies. When the individual pieces were valued by the market independently, the sum of the parts was worth dramatically more than the whole. Rockefeller's net worth exploded after the breakup. The government thought they were slaying a dragon. They were actually unlocking a treasure vault just for Rockefeller. The market assessed each individual entity on its own merits. The strong entities attacked their segments with renewed focus and resources, and they advanced, growing into some of the most dominant corporations of the 20th century. Many of them still live today. The fatal flaw here isn't in the breakup. It's that Standard Oil never did it voluntarily. If Rockefeller and his team had applied the 80-20 matrix themselves, if they had proactively spun off or divested underperforming units, focused capital on the vital few, they could have unlocked this value on their own terms years earlier without government intervention and without the rest of the businesses kind of fading away. The profit parasite was empire addiction, the irrational belief that bigger is always better. Rockefeller was so committed to controlling everything that he's never stopped to ask whether controlling everything was actually the most profitable strategy. So here's the verdict. The breakup of Standard Oil is the most counterintuitive business case in history. An act of destruction that created more value than decades of consolidation did. It's proof that sometimes the most powerful act of strategy is subtraction, not addition. So we're going to give this a kill rating of 4 out of 5 kills. The outcome was legendary, but I can't give a full 5 to the result because it was accidental. The value creation was real, but it was imposed by the Supreme Court, not executed by a strategist. Accidental brilliance still counts, but it's not the same as deliberate dominance. If you are running a conglomerate and propping up underperformers with your best division's profits, then you are the same as pre-breakup Standard Oil. Don't wait for the government to do it for you. Head to toddhagopian.com and stagnationassassins.com and pick up a copy of The Unfair Advantage. And as always, continue to declare war on stagnation.